Superstar. I'm back at it again. Hello, yes. We couldn't, I wasn't sure what was happening if no one could see or hear me because no one was responding in the chat room. Let me just reiterate the protocol for live streams, okay? If you're here during live streams, it's required that you are interactive. Otherwise, you can just watch the replay. All right. So that means you come in, you get in the chat room, you can at least say hello, let us know where you're watching us from, hit the like, support the stream, etc., etc. Okay. It's just common courtesy. I'm spending my time. You're here. Be on code. All right. Shout outs to Mr. Timothy Lucas. All right. We about to get this kicked off. Thank you so much, sir. Yes. Tonight's topic is another proximity. Hello, Shamsu. I see. Okay, this is much better because I came in. There was people watching. They weren't getting in the chat room. I won't hesitate to end the stream. Okay. But I see you guys on code out there, and I really appreciate it. Big shout out to the African Superstar family. Please make sure you guys get the likes up. Be a part of our conversation tonight. Enter the chat room. Let us know that you are there. All right. Tonight's topic is body, skin, and hair dysmorphia. Okay. I have been talking about throughout this series the silent killer of proximity, being close to our enemies. It's so problematic in so many ways. I have just done a few episodes, and it's so obvious that this is a huge problem that we do not consider. And a lot of times we spend our attention attacking each other instead of getting to the root cause, which is that we are in a toxic environment. It is impacting us psychologically. It is impacting us socially. It is impacting us financially. It is impacting our children. It's impacting their quality of education. I mean, so many different facets. So today I'm going to talk about body, skin, and hair dysmorphia. Yesterday, I talked about the psychological breakdown. Okay. To get more specific, when you are living in an environment where you are a minority, and let me just offer a disclaimer because I have been seeing that we have been attracting many of our brainwashed peers, and they are very delusional about the dangers of proximity. And they are trying, I don't know what they think they're going to do in the comments because I'm speaking from facts and obvious occurrences of a sizable amount of our people. Again, a very cavalier and ignorant way to look at these issues is because maybe they are not pertaining to you, because you are an outlier, because you are resilient, because it hasn't come down your street, it doesn't mean that it's not a profound problem for many of our peers. Hello, guys. Let's get the likes up. I see 5 of you there and 1 like. Let's get the likes up right now. If you're enjoying proximity, it goes without saying. Hit the likes, please. Be a part of our conversation. I have a few videos I'm going to share from TikTok today in which other Black women voice this issue. You know, unfortunately, the world is super critical when it comes to Black women. One of the hottest topics is our hair. It's always been our hair, especially in the Western world. There was a law called the Tignon law back in, I think, like the 1900s, because obviously Black women are so expressive and creative with our hair. Our hair is the most dynamic and versatile hair in the world. Our hair is the only hair that grows in this fashion, is super versatile, is stunning, is incredible. And it makes all the other women insecure. Okay. And by way of their insecurity, they project that onto us. And our hair, what we do or don't do with it is a major focal point. And what happens when you live in an environment where, again, you are in a minority setting, you will begin to develop issues body dysmorphia, skin dysmorphia, hair dysmorphia, because obviously the majority in those settings doesn't look like you. And they will make you think because you are different, that actually means that you're ugly or you're inferior or you don't, you're not up to their beauty standards, when it's quite the opposite. It's quite the opposite. We're actually the most incredible, amazing, unique, beautiful group of women out there. That's why all the other women want to be like us. That's why they're sitting in the sun trying to brown their skin. That's why they're plumping their lips and their breasts. That's why they're now augmenting their bottoms. And they can't wait to wear our hairstyles. And they want to emulate us in any way possible. Okay. But the problem is with the proximity, a lot of our young black women are getting morphed. And not just black women, black men as well. Okay. Because it's quite normal if you're immersed in a certain situation and you become the focal point, you may want to assimilate into society as much as possible. Okay, you might start skin bleaching or wearing wigs or straighten your hair or, you know, get augmentation or plastic surgery to some of your features. Again, the proximity piece. Okay, and what the irony is the non-black population is using their science and their augmentation to emulate us, and now our people are emulating those people emulating us, which is crazy. So we see this displayed in a lot of the black women who are augmenting their bodies. Okay, you have a nice body, you have a nice nose, you have nice breasts or lips or whatever, and suddenly you are now emulating, the non-black population as they are emulating us. They're trying to catch up to us. They're trying to mimic our features, and you're now mimicking them, mimicking us. It's gotten very distorted. Big shout outs to the family. I'm going to start with the videos at the 10-minute marker. Hello. What's up, Sweetberry32? I see just a handful of you guys in the chat room. Guys, can we get a little bit of crowd participation? Hello. What's up, Devfly KM? Thank you for being here. If you love this series, guys, listen, your favorite YouTubers are not doing this. Who's talking about proximity on here this YouTube? Who? Because just let me know. I mean, if my content is what everybody's talking about, hey, it's not valuable. If it is valuable, please convey that to me. Be a part of the conversation. That's all I ask for during these live streams. All right. Thank you guys for getting the likes up. Yes. So I want to talk about, the microscope that we are under in these environments. Okay. And how obviously that's harmful. Now, it's so much different when you come here to the continent. I have voiced it on several occasions how, for instance, my natural hair is so sought over here in Ghana. I mean, people go bananas over this afro. And I mean, I must say, yeah, I think it's cute. I don't have the biggest afro. I mean, I would love one of those gigantic, afros, but it's just a totally different reception. A different reception to my body shape, a different reception to, everything about me. I used to get teased for having big eyes back in the days. Um, you know, it's normal here. It's sexy. Actually, some of you guys may have gaps in your teeth. Here in Ghana, a gap is seen as sexy because a lot of African people have very pristine, beautiful hair. I mean, beautiful teeth. And so if you have a gap, it's unusual. It's something different, and it's seen as a beauty, a beauty aspect. And so the very things that we are heckled about or harassed about or laser focused upon in the Western world, those things are actually celebrated here. And that just highlights the danger of proximity, because you can literally be in that environment and just think nothing of yourself, think you're not beautiful, think you're too fat, think you're, whatever's wrong with you, and then come over here and just get showered, upon. It's just, I mean, and sometimes I even forget I'm wearing the fro and I'll recall from the reaction. The other day there was a young man on a motorcycle. He almost crashed because he drove by and he was looking back, to the point, and I was just like, people tap my shoulders and, oh my God, I love your fro, ladies and men. And I mean, my boyfriend, he constantly has his hands in my fro. I mean, he loves it. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's very interesting, the perception, because obviously in the Western world, a lot of ladies feel the pressure. Obviously, I've been in the corporate environment and I know how, it may be modern where natural hairstyles are accepted, dreadlocks and braids or even fros. They may be having a little bit more inclusivity, but 10, 15 years ago, yeah, you were expected to be wearing the pressed hair, the straight hair, the relaxer, or a lot of ladies opted for the wigs and these kind of things. Shout outs to the family. Okay, guys, let's get the likes up before I start with the videos. Hello, guys. Come on, guys. Just be on code. Just be on code, please. You come here, you're watching. I can see the numbers. Hit the likes. I know you want to be here. I know you're enjoying it. Is it the pretendians? Am I under a bunny attack? Is it the pretendians that continually come to my channel? Just hit the likes, guys. Damn. Oh, Lord have mercy. So irritating. Man. All right, guys. Tonight I'm talking about the proximity. Okay, hair, skin, and body dysmorphia. When you're living among those people, you start looking at those people. They become the norm in your mind. That's the beauty standards. And obviously, you don't look like them. You don't fit their body standards. Okay, you are totally genetically different. And so looking at that, it's like looking in a broken mirror or something like that. Okay, it's never going to look like you. You cannot ascertain to their appearance just as they can't ascertain to yours. Okay. And because they can't mimic our hair, they can't mimic deep levels of melanin in their skin. They can't mimic our voices. There's some things that's just going to be indigenous to our people. They have taught us to hate those things. And okay, guys, let's get the likes up to 10 before I start the videos. Yes, I'm going to pause and wait for you guys to get on code. Sorry, I have to do this. I'm sorry to those of you that's on code, but I gotta do it. Hello. The likes, what they do is they push me in the algorithm. All right, my topics are controversial, so we need you guys to be a part of this. I don't know. It's like pulling teeth today. What's up, HBGHH? I see you there. Big shout outs. I will do a little comments while we wait for you guys to get the lights up. We have 14 viewing and 7 likes. That's just, it's not up to par. Let's get it up to 10. We need 3 more likes, please. Okay, what's up? Timothy Lucas says, thanks for bringing up the topic of black hair. So many black women are relaxing their beautiful afros. So dangerous. Yes, and I mean, there's been a recent research coming out that a lot of black hair care products have cancerous contents in them. You know, that the popular braiding hair, is made of plastic, which I was totally unaware of. And I've been having this issue for years that whenever I braid my hair, I can literally wash my hair at the salon. The next day, it will begin to flake. I mean, some of you guys may have seen it on some of my videos. My scalp will get really dry and will be flaking and all this stuff. And I come to realize, yeah, I'm basically putting plastic on my hair. And my scalp is telling me that, I mean, I love braids. I can't lie about that. But I think I'm going to try to scale back styling my hair, the duration I do it, and those kind of things, because now that I'm aware of how dangerous some of these products are. Okay, guys, let's start with the videos relating to this topic. Thank you guys for being on code, and those of you that left. Yes, thank you. All right, here we go. First one.
I think the whole rhetoric surrounding Kaylani is super, super interesting. I'm here for it because I feel like black people are obsessed with the one drop rule. And if you don't believe me, just look at our celebrities. Like all of them, all of the ones that are super, super popular are very racially ambiguous, especially for women. And so it's like, mm, what does that mean? Why do we have so many celebrities who look racially ambiguous or who are mixed with like over half? Why are we obsessed with highlighting people who don't look like the majority of us, you know? And I think it's because a lot of us have a lot of internalized self-hate. I think a lot of black people are anti-black, and I think it's not our fault. It's years and years and years and years of oppression. It's being slaves. It's going through Jim Crow. It's like black codes. It's all of that. It's mass incarceration. It's the way the U.S. has battered and bruised us, and like it's hard to like think about when you're a teenage girl. Like if everyone just constantly made fun of you, you would think you're ugly. You would think you're the worst thing ever. And I feel like that's what it's like being a black person. Like people put you down so much, and it's not even just in America. It's everywhere. So of course you're like, wow, like I must not be the shit. Even though we are the movement, everybody wants to be like us, we fail to see the beauty within ourselves. And it's really sad to me. I really, really hope we get to a place where we don't just accept anybody as black. We don't just accept anybody as to represent us. You know, I think Kalani can identify as whatever she wants to identify as. I'm not saying that she can't be black in her own right, because black is beautiful and it comes in all different shapes and colors and things like that. And if I was Kaylani, I would want to be black. But I do think it's time for black people to really, really start supporting people who look like us more, who represent us more, you know, who are of the culture, grew up in the culture, and had to bear the weight of looking like us, had to bear the weight of being a nigga every day. The features, the skin tone, the hair, you know. And I feel like these racially ambiguous, beautiful women, beautiful artists, and some men as well, they don't necessarily understand the weight of what it is to be fully black, unapologetically black, because they can be other things. They can be racially ambiguous, which we black people, most black people, do not have the privilege of.
All right, shout outs to the family. I saw the lights going up, so you guys must have felt that. That is from a TikTok user called DLA Shay. So if you guys want to look her up, but she was basically, what's up, Miss Jims? I see you there. She was basically talking about how a lot of the celebrities in the Western world are racially ambiguous, and the messaging that this sends to our people, that our people, and we see this with the big movement in America of black Americans wanting to be Native American, wanting to be Hebrews, wanting to be Egyptian, want to be everything but what they are, when we know, the majority um, of our ancestry is West Africa. This is where, the bulk of the transatlantic slave trade was going on. So those people that were transported, most of them, they were not coming from Egypt or any other place. They surely wasn't coming from Israel. They surely weren't coming from Mexico. Okay. And it's very, very obvious. But again, this is part of the proximity. Living with them is going to warp you in ways. You are going to start feeling inferior in your looks. Your confidence may be attacked. You might start questioning yourself, or taking a double take, because you're constantly being berated. And that is exactly what she talked about. Okay, I have another video for you guys, because this is a rich topic. Okay.
So I think it's time that we address the body dysmorphia that black women get after being surrounded by white women their entire lives, because it is so real. And I know it's not just me, because I've talked about it with my friends, other black women online, and they all say the same thing. I remember growing up like in the early 2000s, like white people were scared to have hips and butt and like big boobs and all that stuff. And it was seen as a bad thing. And so growing up, like when I started developing earlier, or when my other black peers started developing earlier, it was seen as like we were fat, or like we were always was told that we were too big. I even went to like a predominantly white dance studio. I quit because one of the instructors basically told me that I was too big. Yet there were white girls with the exact same body that I had. But it was only a problem when I had that body because I was seen as like the overly curvy, overly sensual black woman, and that wasn't it. I was 12 with hips. Crazy.
Yes, so that's another TikToker. Her name is Madam K, Madimikay. So if you want to go and check out these videos on your own, these are just some examples of the damage. Hello, I keep talking about the damage of proximity. This is what is happening to our women, our young men, your kids. You know, some of you that live in America, for instance, you may not know that extreme bullying, that is a Western problem. Huh? Bullying to the point that people want to commit suicide. Some of our young people are bullying to the point that our children are being, unalive by their peers. That is an American Western ass problem. Okay. And what it really boils down to, obviously, is jealousy. Okay. They try to make us feel insecure about ourselves and inferior because they want our features and they cannot mimic them. That's the breakdown of it, if you guys never knew. Okay. Most black women know this. Most black women have echoed this, but a lot of people try to detract and tell us we're making it up. And, especially some of those non-loyal black men, what are you talking about? They want to be like you. You're the one wearing wigs and this and that. Baby, everything we do since been pimping, they copy. Huh? A lot of times that white woman that you got is trying to be cookie cutter black. She thinks she's in. She listens to hip hop and she gets her nails done and she might braid her hair and she wears colorful things and big earrings. Huh? Who is her mama? Huh? Who is she following? Knows everybody's move. What do her favorite celebrities look like? Is Beyonce not the favorite celebrity of so many whites? Hello? But again, guys, we don't think about the hardship that we are going to go through. And I just want to say also to African migrants, this is something that you may not know about because if you've grown up in a homogeneous world, you don't know what it's like to be bullied for your hair every day or bullied for your skin color every day or bullied for your bodies. I mean, since I've been here in Africa, I see, little boys and little girls, they've already started filling out. Some of them are quite tall, full figure. Some of them, their parents are freaking giants. But they're kids and they get treated like kids here. And nobody's making them feel uncomfortable about their bodies and all of that. Now, I think because of the scrutiny worldwide about our hair, obviously still here on the continent, there's still a lot of that colonial thinking around hair. But I see movements. I see a lot of people here on the continent, ladies and men, kind of starting to wear dreadlocks, wearing their natural cornrows. I had a conversation today with a young lady at my gym. She always wears beautiful hairstyles just with her natural hair. And, I told her, I said, did you hear about the braiding hair? Because like I mentioned recently, I just became aware that Kankalon braiding hair that, all of us wear, the synthetic, most of us that get our hair braided, we go to the hair store, we get a couple packs of hair. That's the hair. And that hair is toxic. It has chemicals in it. It's made out of plastic. And I've seen countless videos on YouTube and TikTok about other black women complaining about these scabs, their head just becoming full of flakes whenever they braid it, whenever they style it. Not unaware, us being unaware of what these products are being, what is being put in these products. But more than this, I want to talk about also the psychological effects, the dysmorphia. Okay, dysmorphia means when you look in the mirror and you have distorted views of yourself. Sometimes people become what is it, anorexic and things like that, because like this young lady was saying, when she was a girl and she was just taking a dance class, because her body was filling out and her genetics, they were calling her fat. So some people will then say, okay, well, if I'm fat, I need to lose weight, and it will lead into eating disorders. Okay. And the dysmorphia is just not being happy or satisfied with your body. And quite frankly, I mean, this may apply to some of you guys and it may be a hard pill to fill. But if you are someone who is constantly augmenting your body, you know, you're someone, you're getting bazillion tattoos, piercings, you're bleaching your skin, you're doing, procedures, augmenting plastic surgery. Yeah. Hello. Dysmorphia. Because that means the way that you were naturally made, you don't like it. Now, there are natural ways to go about your health and fitness. For instance, if weight is an issue, diet and exercise is going to be your go-to. You know, it's not as fast as going to do lipo or going to get a BBL or whatever. Um, and obviously, whatever you came with genetically is basically how it's supposed to be. So, I mean, you should just adjust to your nose, adjust to your um, lips, teeth can be worked on. You can do braces, or if you just have really poor dental structure, I mean, there's ways to get veneers or do Invisalign. I mean, there are ways that you can improve your appearance by natural means that's not going to actually augment yourself. But when you start getting into that, you are probably suffering. And just like the first video I showed, the lady said, our people cling on to this one drop rule. We want to claim everybody as black. We're the first ones, for instance, to accept these biracial folks in and say, oh yeah, he's black, she's black, whatever. Anybody who wants to be connected to our group, we let them in. And it's a form of self-hate, because really we should be an exclusive club. I mean, that I don't their lack of melanin is not on the stock exchange. Did you know that they are melanin is on the stock exchange and it's very, very expensive. I don't know how melanin is on the stock exchange, and I dare not investigate how they're extracting it or whatever. But our skin color is like our superpower. It does so many things. And we are also identified as having additional genes, genetics, that make us superior. I mean, it's no wonder we're top in music, top in athletics, inventors, creative. We can take anything in our hand and remake it, renovate it, change it, remix it. And other groups cannot do that, guys. Not to mention, other groups are busy emulating us from the east to the west. In Asia, they're like obsessed with our people. Okay? All those K-pop stars and all this stuff, they basically protege under our people to learn how to dance and try to mimic our singing, our fashion. There's even fashion groups, movements and all this stuff in Japan where they mimic being black. And they're like hip hop, and they've created this whole subculture. Japanese people now, not blacks, Japanese people who want to be black. You see, we are so innovative to the whole world. And two things can't be exclusively true, guys. Okay, this is how you know that them trying to convince you that you're inadequate and that you're ugly is a scam and a lie. Because nobody wants to mimic what is inferior. Even you, if you think back to people that you have looked up to in the past, it was never the homeless man under the bridge. Okay, it was never that person who got strung out on drugs. It was never that person who didn't graduate school, or someone who was broke, huh? It wasn't that lady with, 7 kids. You never wanted to emulate that. Matter of fact, you would look at that and you would just shake your head and be like, so the fact that the whole wide world wants to emulate us should tell you right there, we're not the inferior ones, folks. We're not the inferior ones at all. We're not the inferior ones at all. And the truth is that proximity is what? Destroying our people. Proximity, your proximity to them is what makes you uncomfortable in your skin. Yes. Yes. And our proximity to them has also spawned another dangerous counterpart, which is the anti-black person. Hello. The anti-black person, the person who is trying to assimilate so much, they're actually harsh on their people. I've heard this mimicked so many times from, for instance, African migrants telling me that some of the first, racism that they faced or encountered in the Western world was from Black Americans. Thank you, Miss Jim Jims. I see you there, sweetheart. Big shout outs to you with that first super chat. I'm glad this message is good to you. I've heard that from countless Africans. I mean, if any of you guys talk to African people or have them in your family, they will tell you, that some, if they went to school, some of the Black Americans were the first ones to tease them. Some, talking negatively about Africa and these type of things. Okay, because proximity is basically effing our people up. I can't say it in a gentle way. Okay, it's warping our own people. So you're going to go to America. For those of you guys that have never been there, you're going to go to America and you're going to see Black people that look like you, that are going to tell you they're not like you, and they might treat you worse than white people. It's almost like they've protéged under white people on how to project and be more harsh on our people. All of this is the culprit of proximity, guys. You hate yourself so much and you feel that all other Black people should share in that feeling. And those type of people specifically get unnerved by confident Black people. Huh? Unfortunately, I hate to say this, but this is a problem for a lot of our Black males, okay? They have self-hate issues and they project it back on Black women. They think to Black women, how dare you think that you're worth anything? You ain't nothing. Where is that coming from? That's coming from his soul. Okay? He feels that nobody should be proud of themselves because of his self-hate. That's why they're getting out there more than any other group complaining about Black women. They have now set the standard for other ethnicities to get on the boat and complain about Black women, because obviously Black men are in our likeness. So if they're going to get out there and talk about this and talk about that, and one of their big focal points, just like everyone, is our hair. Oh, you guys need you stop wearing these wigs and wear natural hair and all this stuff. Listen, proximity. Tell me that the Black girls don't be. I mean, I'm not a wig wearer. I maybe once a year. Sometimes I might wear one to go party, but I prefer braids and my fro and all of that. I don't knock the sis with the wigs, because I know a lot of ladies like to change up their style and they like variety. For them, it's pick up and go. I do think that the wig wearing becomes a problem when you are not confident in your natural hair. If you're wearing wigs or changing up your hairstyle because you like versatility, for instance, like me, I'm an award-winning I'm an award-winning musician, so I like to change up my hair for photo shoots and shows and programs. I'm going on TV next week here in Ghana. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go do my hair. Hello. But there's a problem when you can't really embrace your natural looks. And I think that's when it gets to be a problem. Okay, now if you're integrating and you're mixing and matching, that's cool in my opinion. But when the black girls come out with the wigs, are they not slaying them? Are they not laid down? Hello? Are they not fried, dyed, and laid to the side? Black girls was creating lace front wigs before it was a thing. You see, in everything we do, we are it. We are it. And I would also say to the fellas, a lot of you that have problems with our hair, whatever it is, because you do also have some men that would say, oh, I like natural hair, but then they wouldn't approach women with natural hair. They wouldn't try to take them out. They wouldn't marry them. So it's kind of like I say one thing, I do another thing. If you really want black women to embrace their natural looks, praise black women with the natural looks. Don't go and marry a lady who gives off a particular image, or be ogling and oogling over these Instagram girls that's got the 30-inch bust down, because you're basically you're the math ain't mathing. You're saying one thing and you're doing another. You see, when I started dating my current boyfriend and I wore my fro for the first time around him, and he put his hands in my hair and was smelling my hair and giving me the energy, I said, oh, he loves this natural hair. And I was making sure I'm bringing out the fro a lot in his company because I know he likes it. That's the way to do it. That's how you let ladies know that, oh yeah, I like that hair. I like it when you're natural. Because you're going to get a lot more bees with sugar than with vinegar. So nobody likes to be continually criticized. Everybody likes love, and everybody likes compliments, and everybody likes to feel, appreciated and all that. Try a different approach. But know this, we are the beauty standard. We are the beauty standard. Yes, our features are symmetric, they're fantastic. You know what I mean? I love my face. And sometimes I see members of the African superstar family and I just think, wow, you guys are stunningly beautiful. Stunningly beautiful. And I hope that you know that. And obviously, there's always room for improvement. Like, to be honest, some of us are neglecting our physical health. Hello, we're not as active. We've got unwanted pounds and all of that. And obviously, if you're suffering from psychological issues, you're depressed or something like that, you may not be in the mood to always put yourself together and things like that. But for your health and longevity, you should make an effort. You will feel better, especially when you start seeing results of your investment into what's going on. The only answer for this part of the proximity is to get among your own people, quite frankly. As long as you remain in that environment, you are going to feel the pressure of your hair, skin color, and body being scrutinized. Okay, and here's a pro tip: the more beautiful you are, the more intense it's going to be. The more magnetic you are, the more dynamic you are, all the other girls are going to be pissed, and they're going to make it a topic. When I used to work in the bank, for instance, okay, I really, really loved dressing. Okay, it was my dream to be a corporate girl when I was going to university and all that. So when I got my first corporate job, I used to be showing up to the nines, okay? Pantyhose, high heels. I used to come in with the trench coats with the matching gloves, the handbag, the belt on the waist, huh? Hair fried, dyed, jewelry, earrings, the whole nine, lipstick, makeup every day. Them chicks in the office could not stand it. I was always getting called in for dress code. I remember one day I had a Calvin Klein, professional dress on to the knees, but because the body was banging, hello, the body was snatched. Let me see if I can find a picture. I'm gonna show y'all my back in the days. Hold on, I'm gonna show y'all my back in the days because it's important. Hello, family. Get the likes, guys. We got 20 of you in here. The likes is not matching up. I'm talking about proximity dangers. Hello. Also, if you are new to the channel, this is a whole series. I have a whole playlist. I've already done several topics of proximity, and I'm going to continue because a lot of us overlook just what being in their environments, what does that mean? What does that translate into for us? Hold on, let's see here. Is it gonna okay, let me try it. I'm trying to get in this Google. Uh Damn, I can't get the pics up, guys. Sorry, I don't think so. Okay, let me try. What's up, guys? Please, can I get the likes up? If you are here and you know you have not hit the like right this minute. Hit the likes right this minute. This is a protocol of live streams. Okay. Let me see if I can show y'all. I want to get a picture from that good office pic. Can you guys see that? Huh? Can y'all see that picture? That's your girl. I had the Coogee sweater, vintage. Yeah, I was balling. I used to be into vintage. Vintage Coogee, vintage Versace, vintage Chanel. I used to come. Y'all see, I got the high heels on. Hello? I had that little prep girly. That was my favorite. I had some Chanel pearls on in there. Hello? Yes. I want to show y'all one. I got one with the matching coat. Uh, Let me see if y'all can see this. Hello. This was my first trip to London. See the jockey boots? See the Louis Vuitton bag? Look, I had the button down white shirt with the vest underneath the tan. What? Huh? This was me at the University of Cambridge, 2014, baby. 2014. Your girl did not used to play. Here's me with the look. There goes that Coogee sweater. That's the Chanel set of pearls. Y'all know my birthday's in June. Pearls is my birthstone. Yeah, I'm trying to show y'all. I'm trying to show y'all. It's important. You gotta have the receipts. Bring them receipts out. Them was my favorite pearls. I wonder if I still got them pearls. I ain't worn pearls in a minute. Woo. Hello, family. And so, anyway, I used to be in the office and they used to be constantly disturbing me. Constantly, this was the damn, I don't know if y'all can see. This was the body. Banging. What? That body was banging. Y'all see that? Huh? So then I just started wearing the maxi dresses, and then they was mad about that because the body was banging. Talking about, oh, them dresses is too form fitting, and I'm like, I can't do nothing about it. I can't do anything about it. Dang, y'all taking me down memory lane. Damn. This was me on a Friday. Hello, we could wear the denim on Fridays. There goes your girl. What? See, never underestimate the pictures. The pictures might come back to save you one day. Here is me with that Ralph Lauren, huh? With the crest. Your girl came with the Ralph Lauren. I used to love blazers, huh? Y'all see that work badge? Official. Y'all gonna be tired of me. Y'all gonna be tired of me to this day. All right. I'm about to be done. Let me see. I think that I was looking for this one particular picture though, where I had the knee boots on with the trench coat, and I had this banging leopard dress. Oh damn, where's it at? Hello, family. Hit the lights. Yes. See, that was me. Look, that's how I used to be going to work. They used to be mad as hell. So anyway, the more beautiful you are, the more beautiful you are, the more intense it will be, ladies. And so for some of you guys that just feel like, oh my God, the focus is on me, you're that chick, basically. Yeah, you're that chick. You're that chick. And I know that it just takes like a lot of confidence to, bloom in the wake of all of that. But I encourage you to try to find pockets of, maybe other ladies that look like you, or organizations, maybe a sorority or something like that, or a professional group or something where you can just be an audience of your peers to try to help you normalize. Because if you're immersing yourself in proximity, you will develop issues around all of these things, you know and I can't really advise the fellas because I'm not a man. I can't really tell you guys how to quell your self-hate, except learn your history. Learning about dynamic members of your community will empower you. And ultimately, the continent for me, it answered a lot of things. It gave me a lot of peace. It gave me a lot of community and normalcy and sense of belonging. I would recommend it to anybody who's struggling with this, because when you live in a place as a minority, you get all warped and you start seeing the world as in a minority mindset. So it's very, very powerful when you come to the motherland and you're immersed in a homogeneous world. Go to Kenya, go to Nigeria, come to Ghana, and see these huge populations of people that look like you, and you walk freely through the streets. You walk freely through the mall. You can go to the beach. Even if you big, you got big hips, thighs. Trust me, there's somebody here that could top you. There's somebody who could do double, triple. I remember when my very first time meeting Sister Y'all, my homegirl. Let me see if I got a picture of Sister Y'all. Yes, my girlfriend, homie. I love Sister Y'all. She's so good to me. And Sister Y'all's legit a giant. She's like 6 feet tall. and and she got backside. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. What's up, man? What the hell? What's going on? Man, this phone is really misbehaving today. What's going on? So I met Sister Y'all, and I remember I posted this picture, I think, and everybody was like, "Gina, are you short or is Sister Y'all tall?" I'm about 5 feet 4 inches. Some people think I'm really tall. I don't know why. Back in the days, I used to wear high heels, like I showed you, like every day going to work. So I can understand that a little bit more. But in these modern times, I don't wear heels as much. So there's me and Sister Ya. See? Sister Ya is a giant. Okay? And people used to talk about me having a big butt. Sister Ya's butt like three times the size of my butt. And it's just another thing. It's like when you're used to being the one who everybody says, "Oh, you're big, oh, you're fat, or you're thick, oh, you got the big butt, you got the big boobs, the big lips, whatever." When you come here to the continent, you're going to see women and men that are giants. Bigger than you, taller than you, thicker than you, whatever. Even if you feel like you're dark skinned and you've got issues around your dark skin, you're going to find people here in Africa that have darker skin than you. You know? And it's comforting in a way because it removes all of that focal on you, because it's like, when I go out, my girlfriend's here. I remember when I was in the UK, I had a friend from South Africa, and the ladies from South Africa are known for having those really buxom, curvy bodies and all of that. Well, she was no exception. Tall, very, very shapely. And I just loved when I would go out with her, it was like it would take the attention off me, because obviously it was like she had a butt that was like 2 times the size of mine. Plus she was tall. And so, it's that audience of your peers that gives you some relief. Big shout out to African Superstar family. Okay, let me check the comments here before I wrap up. If you have anything to add to this topic, make sure you get in the chat room. Yes, yes, yes. Timothy Lucas is with us. Shamshu Mohammed, I see you there. Sweetberry 32. Dubfly KM, big shout outs to everybody on code in the chat room liking the streams. Yes, I appreciate it. Timothy says, thanks for bringing up the topic of black hair. So many black women are relaxing their beautiful afros. So dangerous. And to go back to the hair, unfortunately, again, I do see this changing a bit in the modern day. There's a lot more hair care products and attention to natural hair. But historically, like, a lot of black women don't know how to manage their hair, which is why they think it's difficult. It's why they think it's maybe too coarse, or they don't know how to style it, and all these kind of things. There are a myriad of styles that we can do with our hair. And so when you go on your journey of natural hair, for instance, you're going to have to educate yourself on how to use your hair. Actually, I think wearing my fro is so easy. Like, I mean, it's amazing. I don't need a bazillion hair care products. I literally use shea butter. This is natural raw shea butter. Hello, raw shea butter here from Ghana. I use water and a little bit of coconut oil, or I'm sorry, castor oil. Castor oil, I think, is the best oil of all time. Shout outs to all my Jamaican brothers and sisters. Hello, this one's for you guys. A little bit of water, a little bit of castor oil, shea butter. That's all I use. Hello. Wash my hair maybe once or twice a week. Put the little twist in, and then when it's time to throw it out, y'all see that soft. Hello, yes, my fro is soft, baby. People be like, they love your fro. Y'all see that elasticity? Hello. What? Your girl's hair. It's like, and especially if you're a lady who's always got your hair braided or wearing the wig, when you wear your hair, it feels so light, it feels so free, and I feel like it's just easier to manage. I really, really do. But that's because I've learned how to use it and take care of it, and obviously now with social media, there's a lot of resources to teach you how to style your hair. I took full advantage of COVID, doing different styles in my hair. I remember I wore the fro hawk one time, which was so hot. Basically you just take some pins and you pin it up and you get a fro hawk, and it was so dope. And I learned a lot of styles during COVID. I mean, you can go on social media and learn these things, and I think a lot of our women are going to have to do that. But be mindful, also pass that information to the young ladies. If you have young ladies in your life, you're on a natural hair care journey, promote them, educate them, teach them also, so that they can have confidence with their natural hair, and also the skills of how to care for it and take care of it, do nice styles. Because obviously, if you're used to going to a wig, that's basically the style. Get your hair cornrowed or shave your head or whatever, plop the wig on, and that's it. um Doing our hair, it might take a little bit longer to do styles, but afro hair is amazing when it's styled. And so I would encourage a lot of ladies, and I mean, obviously I'm a public figure, so that's why I'm also mindful of being able to show my natural hair. Sometimes it's twisted, sometimes I've got it whatever froed out, um so that my viewers can also enjoy my fro, but maybe also be motivated to get in touch with their own. What's up? What's up? HBGHH, I see you there. Miss Jims is in the building, representing from Detroit. Thank you so much. And Miss Jims is our one and only super chat donor today during this episode. Frank says, "Oh, Frank, you got two different channels? How you do two different channels in the same live stream, bro? You doing a lot." What's up, Frank? Miss Jim says the bullies learned from them. I was called donkey booty and horse lips when I was a child. Oh my goodness. And so you now see everything coming full circle. The minute that they could, use science to mimic our features, that's the first thing they was doing. What? Sweet Berry? Girl. She says, I'm giving in to a nose job. Been wanting one since grade school. Proximity dangerous, guys. Proximity, proximity, proximity. Miss Jim sent that super chat and says, we don't know who we really are. It's very unfortunate. Big shout outs to the African superstar family. Sweetberry says, we wear straight hair better than the white people and Asians. We style our hair. However we gonna do it, we gonna do it. Okay? We do it. You know what I'm saying? Miss Jim Jim says, I've been natural for almost 20 years. Sweetberry32 says, my nappy versary is July 21st. Big shout outs to you. Yeah, girl, I used to be rocking that Coogee all day long. I still got my Coogee sweaters. They're actually in the UK. Huh? I need to go collect them. One of my girlfriends, when I left when I left the UK, I had a suitcase. And it was full of like my knee boots, some of my coats, and a couple of my jumpers. I got some really nice jumpers in there. I got Coogee, I got a Gucci, Blind for Love. I don't know if y'all remember that. That was like what, 2019 maybe, 2018, 2019. Got this really nice. I wore it to Paris. I remember I got this nice matching headband and the jumper. Yeah, all in the UK in this suitcase. My girlfriend's still holding it. It's been 5 years. I need to go collect it. Miss Jim Jim says, I loved and missed my fro. I'm wearing sister locks now. All right. Big shout out to the African superstar family. Yes, guys, this goes into our proximity playlist. Okay. You may not think about all the dangers associated with living in close proximity with our historical enemies, colonizers, but my friends, you can't get away from it. Okay. You cannot sit in water and not get wet. There's a lot of side effects and negative aspects of living in that environment. And body, skin, and hair dysmorphia is just one. Okay? So think about it. And if you can, this might be a driving factor to get yourself and your family out of that environment if you're in a position, because every day you're there, you are dealing with proximity issues and it's affecting you. And you might not know it's affecting your mental health. You know, I talked about that yesterday. It's affecting, you know, I have a couple other topics. I'm not gonna unleash them on y'all. Y'all just gotta wait and see. But it's affecting us in many, 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 many different ways. Big shout outs to the African superstar family. Thank you to everybody who was on code and came in the room. Guys, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe if you enjoy these topics. Make sure so you don't miss out. You can get the proximity playlist on the community tab right on the homepage. It is right there for your viewing. So you can go back and catch the other proximity episodes before this one. And I will be continuing on. All right. So much love to the African superstar family. Don't hesitate to reach out if you're interested in land here in Ghana. Bespoke tours, consultations, live performances, or motivational speaking. Your girl does it all. Hello. Yes, your girl does it all. Don't hesitate to reach out to me regarding any of those services at africansuperstar@gmail.com. If you're interested, obviously, in our group tour, me and Mr. Taye Uhuru, we are teaming up October 19th through the 26th, and we want to welcome, obviously, the African Superstar family to Ghana. On that tour, it's going to be amazing. You'll also get a Welcome to Ghana concert from me. Hello. An official kente cloth photo shoot on Black Star Square. Yes. So our tour has a lot of perks other people are not offering you. So please do consider us. You can check out our full itinerary and book at www.tayeahuru.com. And last but not least, my most recent track to hit the airwaves is called Boom Boom. It is also available here on YouTube. You can get the audio, and we are streaming on all streaming platforms, okay? So until we meet again, stay black and true. If you ain't black, just stay true.